This is the video for the week ending Friday, November the 26th. It was a 3.5 day trading week shortened by Thanksgiving, and some remarkable things happened. I mean, we are really oversold now. The bulls took over. The last time we did this video, we had some playing around right in here where we said the bulls and the bears were fighting it out. Well, the bears won. They fought it out at the midway point, and then they took it down to the deeply oversold. The bears jumped in, bought some of the dip, and the bulls brought it down. The bears brought it down on Friday, but of course that was due to the new COVID variant news. Now the summation index that we've talked about has now dropped quite considerably. But if we look at this PowerPoint that we showed, time and time again over the last 3-4 weeks, we've been talking about being able to predict when the market would drop based on the distance from the valley in the summation index. And we said that it would happen sometime around here when this was October the 15th. So we had this drop in here at about the end of September. The summation index started to move up, and we said we would have the market drop somewhere out here. And let's look now at the summation index. And there's the drop that we see in the market. We had a little bit of a one here, and then move up, and then we had this definite one here. And this one here would have taken us to about where that green arrow is, and now we've had another drop. So this was predictable, but all I did was strengthen my short calls, take any profits I had in short calls, didn't sell any shares, because what's the point? I still believe the long-term viability of the market is going to be good. And now there's more reason to think there's a little bit of a Santa Claus rally that's possible. Let's look at some of the signs that are pointed to in the charts and the cloud and the Fibonacci's. Look at the Dow Jones. Touched the top of the cloud after crashing through the 50 and then moved up. Finished the day a little bit off of its high, but it was the cloud that provided the support. When we look at the S&P, it was almost the 50 that provided support, or this 200% Fibonacci. So we've got some support there. We've also got, where was the low of the day? Well, the low of the day was right there, and you can see that that would be not support on the candles for the Chico span. So we could drop a little bit further in the S&P down to where we would see support on the candle. So the S&P could drop a little bit further next week, but that would be where the candles would get support by the 50 EMA. So that's entirely possible. Now the Nasdaq has quite a way to drop to see its 50 and its support on the clouds. And if we said that that was right about here, then we would see, let's see, this is Monday, Tuesday, either Wednesday or Thursday, the Chico span gets support on the cloud, on the candles, and that would be support on the 50. Now, Apple only had a little bit of a pullback. Caterpillar, look where it had its low of Friday. That would have been the Chico span hitting the 200 right here. So again, the cloud, the Chico span, the moving averages are all very important in trying to determine where we're going to see a bounce. NEO, a bit of a drop. It played between the 50 and the 200. This is going to be a cyclical a stock that's going to give you a roller coaster ride, but I believe that the ultimate direction of NEO is up. Now, Sava has been up and down as well. There was some news in Seeking Alpha that somebody reported some great stuff in Seeking Alpha. But look at where it found its resistance on Thursday, right here on the 200, and then it dropped. So again, the Chico span is telling us that we were going to see resistance on Thursday, and then we saw it regardless of what COVID news there was. But the stochastic momentum index is curling up here, coiling up for a bounce higher for this stock. Rivian is pulling back, really not far from where it opened in its offering. So this is a good stock to buy. I did buy some in the one at this pullback here, I bought some. I bought a little bit more in here. I'll continue to add to this stock because this is the next Tesla in this area, in this EV area. Let's look at the Tesla stock, and Tesla has this is all one could say it's Elon Musk's trading, but the stochastic momentum indexes are saying that this stock is going to turn down. Let's look at IBM. IBM is really struggling, but it's got a great dividend now, and it's really a stock that you want to buy because this is, I think, this is just an opportunity. If we look at a straight line here, a trend line, from this candle through to this candle, you can see that we've lost that trend line. So that's not any more valid. But look at this wedge that's been formed here, and no, I wouldn't say that that's a wedge. That must be an old one that I drew. Nonetheless, its stochastic indicators are saying that this stock tried to bounce and is now ready to bounce. So we've got all sorts of reason to think that there's support, but we've got some reason to think that we still could see a drop because that's what the Nasdaq says that we might do, might even pull down to the 50, which would be 161.8, and the S&P might pull down to the 50 again and test, and if we fail the 50, then we'd be going down. If we get support on the 50 again, then we can move up.